So let's go to the topic, the word problems, basic algebra. So here we we will apply what we learned from the previous session on how to basically that topic of how to solve for x, how to isolate x and solve for x. So what are the word problems that you will encounter? Mostly the word problems you will encounter, there's what we call the number problems. Then meron ito yung for example, you have five consecutive integers or five consecutive numbers and the total is 100, those type of problems. You have five numbers multiples of five and so on, and the total is blah blah blah. So those are the types of what we call the number problems. There are also the age problems. So age problems is these are very common in the exam. Malalaman yung ito yung mga problem na if the mother is four times as old as the daughter, how old is the mother, blah, blah, and how old is the daughter now, and so on. In 4 years, they would be two times as old. So yung mga ganong questions sa age problem. Okay? And then, I would say itong dalawa nasa medium difficulty. So, medyo madali sila i-solve. So, once na familiarize nyo na, madali na i-solve tong number problems and age problem. Then, meron din tayong mga work problems. So, ano yung mga work problems? Halimbawa, si, si team member A could finish the job in 3 hours. Team member B could finish the job in 4 hours. Together, how fast could they finish the job? So, yung mga ganong question. So, not necessarily just people, it could also be machine and could also be, usually may mga pipe example, for example, how long it will take to fill the pool or something. So, anything na nag-work together or again, even against each other is a work problem. So, either humans or machines alike. But when it comes to solving work. And then, so this one's usually hard problems. And then we have the speed problems. So speed problems solving anything involving distance, speed meaning distance per time or time. So yung tatlo na yun, speed, distance, and time, itatackle natin yan. So meron tayong usually hard problems din yung sa speed. And meron din tayong mixture problems. So last time in ratio and proportion, we actually touched on some mixture problems. So similar problems we will encounter here. And we kind of applied algebra in the mixture problem in ratio and proportion. Kung maalala nyo from ratio and proportion, I highly recommend that session kasi marami tayong examples doon and very important din yung ratio and proportion topic in the exam. So marami tayong examples of various difficulty levels, easy, medium, hard, and ginamit din natin partially yung algebra doon. So ngayon gagamitin din natin ulit siya in mixture problem, sort of kind of a ratio and proportion din siya. Okay, so these are the types of word problems we will encounter. Let's jump right in sa number problems, relatively easy example. So first example, number problem, medium. So medium difficulty. So wala tayong easy example today. So all medium and hard difficulty. And yep, so number problem. So the sum of five consecutive integers is 100. What are these numbers? So how do we approach this number? First, usually ang confusion dito ano ba yung integers? Integers are basically just whole numbers na it could be either positive or negative. So those are your integers. Walang decimal. Exact. Kumbaga eksaktong numbers sila, whole numbers. So five consecutive integers, ang sum daw nila is 100. So ang question, ano raw yung mga number na yun? So how do we approach this? Nawawala tayo ng limang number. Magsimula tayo syempre, usually sa mga word problems natin, meron tayong x unknown. So saan tayo magsimula? Sabihin natin na yung x ay yung um, x yung, kasi consecutive integers, di ba? So magkakasunod sila. Sabihin natin na x, usually ang gagawin nyo dito, si x yung pinaka mababang number or your first number, right? For yung unknown. So hindi natin alam yung unang number, pinaka smallest number dun sa magkakasunod. 5 consecutive meaning magkakasunod, di ba? So x yung pinaka una. Ngayon, kung dinefine natin na x yung first number, consecutive sila, ano yung pangalawang number? Paano natin siya express algebraically? Right? Kung x yung unang number, dapat yung kasunod niya is x plus 1, right? Kasi magkakasunod lang sila. Kung halimbawa, 10, yung first number, yung kasunod niya is 11, 12, 13, 14. So, plus 1 lang ng plus 1 from the previous one. So, second number should be x plus 1. Ito ngayon yung second number natin. And then, ang third number natin should be, how do you express the third number? Yung x plus 1, dadagdagan natin ng isa pa, plus 1. So, magiging x plus 2. And then, ito na yung third number natin, and so on. Yung fourth number natin, magiging x plus 3. Yung fifth number natin, magiging x plus 4. Kasi magkakasunod lang sila. So, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, starting from x. Okay? So, ito na yung representation natin ng nung limang magkakasunod na number. Now, anong gagawin natin ngayon? So, sabi sa problem, ang sum nitong 5 na to is equal to 100. Right? So, ang gagawin natin, i-add natin yung 5. So, sabi 100 daw yung total. So, kung 100 yung total, i-add natin itong 5 na to. So, paano natin i-add yan? Sulat lang natin. Yung unang term is x, pangalawang term is x plus 1, pangatlong term is x plus 2, and then x plus 3, and x plus 4. So, in-add lang natin lahat kasi sabi yung sum nitong 5 number na to is equal to 100. Now, na meron na tayong term na to, ang gagawin natin, kasi ang kailangan nating ma-solve dito si x. Kasi kapag alam natin si x, malalaman na natin lahat ng iba pang number. So, to solve x, pagsama-samahin nyo lang yung same terms na may x, right? So, pagtabi-tabihin natin sila. So, move natin muna to equation na to. So, tabi-tabihin natin lahat ng x lang. So, meron tayong x pagsamasamahin natin dito. Tapos yung mga number lang pagsamasamahin natin sa dito sa bandang right side of equation pa rin. So, pag pinagsama-sama nyo yung x, so x plus x plus x plus x plus x, equal lang yan into what? Equal lang itong all the x here. Pag binilang nyo, meron tayong 5 na x. So, magiging 5x. Yung lahat ng x na yan. Ito naman, i-add lang natin 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So, meron tayong 10. Okay? So, na-combine na natin yung x. Ano nang gagawin natin? Gusto natin ma-isolate siya, yung x lang. So, lipat natin yung 10 sa kabilang side. So, sige, up muna natin itong equation. So, lipat natin yung 10 sa kabilang side, or in other words, naglagay tayo ng negative 10 on both sides, right? So, pag naglagay ka ng negative 10 dito, makakancel yung 10 dito. Kasi 10 minus 10, maupunta ngayon yung negative 10 sa kabila. So, para kang nag-transpose. So, yung 10 dito, tinranspose mo sa kabila, kaya nagpalit ka ng sign. You could also think of it that way. So, magiging yung left side natin, magiging 100 minus 10. So, this one, as we saw last session, you could also move negative 5x to the left and then 100 to the right. Magiging 10 minus 100, magiging negative 5x yung left. Either way, pareho lang yung sagot na makukuha nyo. So, in this case, i-move natin yung 10 to the left. So, magiging 100 minus 10. And then, so we have 100 minus 10 is 90. And yung right side natin is 5. To finally isolate si x, kailangan lang natin i-divide both sides by 5 para ma-cancel yung 5. So, pag dinivide natin, lipat natin dito, i-copy natin. Pag dinivide natin by 5, yung 90 divided by 5 is equal to what? 90 divided by 5 is equal to 18. So, meaning, x is equal to 18 kasi maka-cancel na tong 5. Okay? So, this is the value of x, right? So, now that we know the value of x, we know, so lagay lang natin dyan, we know that the other numbers are just plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4 of x. So, makukuha na natin to agad-agad. So, meron tayong 18 yung unang number, 19 yung pangalawa, and then yung pangatlo is x plus 2, so 20. X plus 3 is 21. X plus 4 is 22. Okay? So, ito na yung consecutive numbers natin. Now, ang maganda sa mga word problems, algebraic word problems, pwede nyo ma-check kung tama ba yung sagot nyo. So to check if your answer is correct, just substitute yung the values, right? So in this case, pag in-add ba natin sila, ang total ba is 100. So obviously magkakasunod sila 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Pag in-add ba natin sila, yung total is 100. I-check natin to be sure. So yes, if you add all of these 5 consecutive integers, the total is equal to 100. So ibig sabihin, tama yung answer natin. Okay, so that's an example of number problem. One way to approach this as well is sometimes it's faster to just look at the choices. If you check the choices, which are the consecutive integers in the choices, and then alin sa kanila yung nagtototal ng 100. Pag nakita nyo, so makikita nyo, usually isang choice lang doon, makikita nyo, itong 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, nagtototal lang 100. So, ito yung answer. That could also be a shortcut, but that shortcut is not always, sometimes mas mabilis siya, sometimes mas mabagal siya, depending sa nature ng problem. Maganda pa rin na matuto kayo mag-solve nito algebraically instead of like using the choices brute force na ina-add nyo lahat ng choices. So, I suggest na learn the algebraic way. Once you know the algebraic way, pwede nyo na siya ma-apply pag nagpalit yung problem. Kasi minsan may mga word problem na hindi mo basta pwedeng tignan lang yung choices. Okay? So that's the number problem example natin. Number 1. So we have another one. So next number problem. May question ba dito? Paki-raise nyo lang kung merong question. Paki-sabihan nyo lang ako. Yung next natin is another number problem, also medium problem. So here, what is the largest of 3 consecutive even numbers whose sum totals 90? Yan. So kanina, meron tayong consecutive numbers. Now, meron tayong 5 consecutive numbers kanina. Now, we just have 3 consecutive numbers, but take note, consecutive even numbers. So, hindi consecutive numbers lang basta-basta, consecutive even numbers. Anong pag sinabing consecutive even numbers? Halimbawa, kung consecutive numbers ang 1, 2, 3, 4, pag sinabing consecutive even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, yun ang mga consecutive even numbers. So, even lang. So, now, ang question sa atin, may tatlong numbers daw na even na magkakasunod. Ang sum nila is equal to 90. So, how do we express that algebraically? So, first, mag-define ulit tayo ng x. So, x is yung smallest natin na first number na even. Kung yung x is equal to the first number, the first even number, ano ngayon yung magiging second and third even number? Isipin nyo, ano yung magiging second and third even number natin? So yung second number natin should be equal to x plus 2 kasi even siya, di ba? Dapat hindi lang plus 1. Kanina plus 1 kasi consecutive number. So now consecutive even, so plus 2 tayo sa kasunod. And then yung kasunod na even number is x plus 4. So ito na yung tatlong numbers natin. Hindi lang tayo basta plus 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2, 4, 6, 8 na tayo kasi even yung sinasabi natin. Parang 6 kung kasunod niya 8 kasi x plus 2. Halimbawa kung 6, 8, 10. So meron tayong plus 2 and 4. So now, ano yung sabi natin? Total of these numbers is equal to 90. So kung 90 yung total ng number, i-add natin yung number. Ano ba yung numbers natin? Represented by these terms. X plus 2, x plus 4. So let's bring them down. X plus x plus 2, the second term, plus x plus 4. So ito yung sabi natin na ang total daw nito is, itong mga number na to is 90. Okay? So, similar kanina, gusto natin malaman yung value ng x. So, i-isolate lang natin yung x sa isang side, either left side or right side ng equation. So, lagay natin ngayon pagsama-samahin lang natin yung yung x. So, meron tayong tatlong x dito and yung 2, 4 na numbers. So, yung tatlong x magiging 3x. Then, yung number natin 2 plus 4 lang is equal to 6. Now, meron tayo ngayong 90 is equal to 3x plus 6. Gusto natin i-isolate si x. So, to do that, i-move lang natin, transpose natin first si 6 sa kabilang side. So, para ma-isolate natin si 3x, para wala siyang kasama na number. So, move natin si 6 sa kabila, magkapalit ng sign. So, magiging negative 6 pag minove natin sa kabilang side ng equation. So, 90 minus 6 is equal to 3x. So, this side is 90 minus 6, so it's just 84. So, is equal to 3x. And now, let's finally isolate x by dividing both sides by 3. So, 84 divided by 3, 3x divided by 3, makakancel si 3, maiiwan na lang si x. And 84 divided by 3 is equal to 28. So, our first number is equal to 28. Now, ang ano ba yung tinatanong? Ang tinatanong sa atin, what is the largest of the three consecutive even numbers? So, ito yung smallest kasi ito yung una, ito yung x natin, right? So, lagay natin siya dito muna. Yan, ito yung nakalculate natin yung first number. Ano hinahanap natin? Yung third number. Yung alam natin, third number is just x plus 4. So, this is 28. X plus 2 is just 30. So, x plus 4, 28 plus 4 is equal to 32. So, that's the answer is 32. So, check natin. Tama ba na ang sum nitong mga to is equal to 90? So, 28 plus 30 plus 32 is equal to 90. Tama. So, answer is 32. So, check natin yung answer natin. Okay? Question. Meron bang questions? Any questions? All right. So, that's your number problem. Relatively easy, and there's some shortcut. You could look at the choices. But again, I look at the choices and try the choices and see which of them which one fits the problem. But then again, I encourage you to be able to solve algebraically the number problems in case you encounter something that's hard to check through the choices. And sometimes it's faster to use the algebraic instead of the choices. Sometimes it's the other way around. So you could be flexible. Okay. So this is the largest number, 32. All right. Next example, let's move on to age problem. So this is still a medium type of problem, medium difficulty level. So for example, Leela is twice as old as Tim. The difference between their ages is 14 years. How old is Leela? Okay? So now, to solve this, pwede tayo gumamit ulit ng X. Unknown si X. Pero ang importante sa mga word problems, very important part is understanding the problem and translating it, yung translation from the worded problem to the algebraic expression. That is the most important part. How do you translate this into an algebraic expression? So, to do that, kailangan natin gumamit ng variable. It could be x or it could be any variable. Let's use x for simplicity, and we like working with the variable x, so let's use that. But kanino natin ilalagay si x? Kay Lila o kay Tim? Question. Kaninong age natin ilalagay? Si Lila ba or si Tim yung ilalagay natin as x? Pag let x, kanino mas madali? Kasi maglalagay tayo, di ba? Either si Lila or si Tim, yung magiging age nila is x. Saan mas madali natin ilagay si x na value? Kay Lila or Tim? Actually, kahit kanino natin siya ilagay, pwede. Pwede nating sabihin na x yung age ni Lila or x yung age ni Tim. Kahit kanino, pwede natin gamitin yan. Okay? So, walang problema Kung pwede nating i-assign X si Lila, then another si Tim. Pero pag na-assign na tayo sa isa, mag-iiba yung expression ng isa. So usually, mas convenient dito na ang i-assign natin sa X si Tim. Bakit mas convenient si Tim na i-assign sa X? Kasi ang mangyayari dyan, pag in-assign natin si Tim na yung age niya is X, ano ba yung sabi ng problem? Lila is twice as old as Tim. So, kung twice as old ni Tim si Lila, so yung age ni Lila is just 2x. Yep. So 2x si Lila, x si Tim. Right? Mas madali. But then again, as I mentioned, pwede rin natin i-assign na x si Lila, right? Mas komplikado lang kasi ang mangyayari kapag in-assign natin na x si Lila, ano yung age ni Tim? Sabi natin Lila is twice as old. So si Tim divided by 2. Ang mangyayari dyan, Lila is x, Tim is x over 2 kasi si Lila twice as old as Tim. Ibig sabihin, kalahati lang ng age ni Lila yung age ni Tim. So si Tim, x over 2 yung mangyayari. So magkakaroon tayo ng fraction. Kaya mas convenient dito, i-assign natin na x si Tim. So that si Lila, yung magiging age niya is just 2x kasi Lila is twice as old as Tim. Doble lang ng age ni Tim yung age ni Lila. So, mas madali yung problem. Mas madali natin siya mas convenient na hindi na tayo magka-fraction. Okay? So now that we have expressions for their ages, ano yung isa pang clue sa atin? The difference between their ages is 14 years. So paano natin i-translate yun? The difference between their ages. Ibig sabihin, pag pinag-minus mo yung age nila, pag pinag-subtract mo, the answer is 14. So let's just express it that way. So 2x minus x, difference, ibig sabihin dito, mas malaki minus mas maliit. Yun yung ini-imply sa problem na 14 years. So otherwise, sasabihin nila na difference is negative 14. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung mas maliit yung nauna, yung pinag-subtract. Pero it's implied in the problem na 2x minus x is equal to 14. So difference between their ages is 14. So therefore, 2x minus x is equal to 14. So take note kapag nagkamali kayo, kapag ang nalagay nyo dyan, x minus 2x, ang mangyayari lang dyan, makakalculate nyo na value ng x is negative. Pero maisip nyo, wala namang negative age, di ba? Wala namang negative. Ibig sabihin lang no, nagkabaliktad kayo ng lagay dito. Pero not necessarily na hindi nyo na siya makasosolve. Kumbaga, pag nagkabaliktad lang kayo ng lagay ng expression dito, sense check nyo lang. X is negative, age ni Tim is negative, hindi yun, wala namang negative na edad. So, nagkabaliktad kayo at some point. So, 2x minus x equal to 14. Dito yung difference between their ages. Question, magiging iba po ba ang sagot nun or yung expression lang po? Mag-iiba yung expression and yung sagot na makukuha nyo is negative. So yun yung main difference. And that at that point when you sense yung tuturo ko sa inyo mamaya sense checking na if you get a negative answer, that means that you probably interchange some of the terms in the expression somewhere. But not necessarily you're not necessarily all wrong, but it's just there's some wrong part that could be corrected. So mag-iiba yung sagot, yes, kasi nag-iba yung expression, but the difference is just the flip in sign, and it's easy to correct later. So here, as you could see, no problem, and as you could see here, 2x minus x is equal to 14. So, well, we know 2x minus x is just equal to 2x. Therefore, x is equal to 14. So, meron na tayong value ng x. So, sino ba si x? So, x is equal to, kaninong age niya ulit si x? Kay Tim. So, ito yung age ni Tim. So, ano ba yung hinahanap? How old is Lila? We know that Lila's age is just what? 2x. So, 2x is, so, ibig sabihin, i-multiply lang natin by 2 si 14. So, it's equal to 28. Okay? So, 28 years old si Lila. Okay? So that's our first age problem. You could check as well. Pwede nyo siya i-check. That's a good thing with the word problems. You could check. So, twice ba yung age? Yes, 28. 14 times 2 is 28. Okay, yes. So, that's twice the age of Tim. Lila's age is yes. Ano pa yung isang condition? The difference between their ages is 14 years. If we subtract these two, is it 14? 28 minus 14 is equal to 14. So, yes, we have the correct answer by checking using the statements in the problem. Okay. All right. Next example, another age problem, another medium age problem. So, here, a father is 4 times as old as his daughter. In 5 years, he will be 3 times as old as she will be then. How old is the father currently? Hmm. And ito medyo slightly challenging, but you'll get used to it. So these problems would be easy for you as you practice. So, ang question, meron tayong at the current right now, yung father, yung tatay daw, 4 times nung yung edad ng daughter, 4 times yung sa tatay. So, yung tatay 4 times ng anak niya. Pero in 5 years, hindi na 4 times, magiging 3 times na lang yung edad ng tatay kumpara dun sa anak niya. So, ang tinatanong, how old, gaano katanda na ngayon yung tatay at the present, currently, right? So, how do we approach this? So, so obviously, meron tayong magiging let x. Sino yung mas convenient na gawin nating x or kung ano mang favorite letter nyo? So, sabihin natin na yung x should be the daughter or the father. Ano yung mas convenient gamitin? If we let x, yung value, kanino natin siya mas madali i-assign? Sa current age ng father or ng daughter? Mas convenient siya sa daughter. I-assign yung x. Yan yung current age niya. Bakit siya mas convenient i-assign sa daughter? Kasi yung magiging age ng father is sabi natin 4 times as old as his daughter. So yung father magiging 4x lang at the current. So 4x yung father. Okay? So mas convenient na gamitin yung x sa daughter. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, you could also use x for the father, but the daughter would be x over 4, which is more complex because magkakaroon tayo ng fractional terms. So mas convenient, lagay na lang natin na x yung daughter. So 4x yung father kasi 4 times as old. Ito yung current. Pero sabi natin, in 5 years, he will be 3 times as old as she will be then. So in 5 years, ano ba yung age in 5 years? Ano ba yung age so in future, in 5 years? Ano ba yung magiging age in 5 years? Well, kung nag 5 years na, yung magiging edad is plus 5 lang, right? So x plus 5 yung sa daughter kasi tumanda siya ng 5 years. Yung sa father naman, magiging 4x plus 5 kasi tumanda lang siya ng 5 years kasi ito in 5 years yan eh. Tama? So ito yung expression natin ng age sa future ng daughter and ng father. Dinagdagan lang natin ng plus 5 each kasi in 5 years. Ngayon, so ang goal natin is to solve x, right? Paano ba natin masosolve yung x dito? Ano pang natitirang clue sa atin? So, meron tayong 4 times as old. In 5 years, meron tayong clue. He will be 3 times as old as she will be then. In the future daw, yung father magiging 3 times as old as the daughter. Paano natin i-express yun? 3 times as old as the daughter. Right? 3 times as old as the daughter. Again, this is in the future, right? So, sabi natin na yung age ng father in the future, 3 times nung sa daughter. Yan yung in 5 years. Ano ba yung age ng daughter in 5 years? Alam natin, yung ginamit natin expression, yung from the clue na it's just, from the expression that we use is just this one, unknown. Unknown din ano ba yung age ng father. Common mistake dito na makikita nyo is ginagamit yung daughter na X father yung 4X, which is wrong kasi we are talking about the future. He will be 3 times as old as she will be then in the future. So, gagamitin natin dito yung future expression, which is yung father is 4X plus 5. Yung daughter is X plus 5. So, again, yung father age is 4X plus 5, daughter is X plus 5. So, meron na tayong expression in which we could solve for X using this expression. Okay? Now, again, nakuha natin to kasi 3 times yung age ng daughter dun sa, yung 3 times ng age ng daughter, yung age ng father. So, sinubstitute lang natin yung future. We're talking about the future in this whole part, the right side of the slide natin. So, now we have an equation in which we could solve for X. So, malalaman na natin yung value ng X. Makukuha na natin yung kahit ano pang age na hinahanap natin. So, let's use this expression. Let's move it here. Ang first natin gagawin, i-distribute muna natin yung 3. Kasi gusto natin ma-isolate yung X, diba? So, distribute muna natin itong 3. So, ito magiging 3X. So, distributive property, 3X. Then, 3 times 5 is 15. So, now that we distributed the 3, we should move around should combine the X terms and combine the number terms. So, to do that, i-move lang natin so either way actually, pwede nyo ilagay sa right side or left side, pareho lang yung makukuha nyo na value. So, lagay natin dito yung sa right side yung mga numbers. So, 15, transpose natin yung 5. So, magiging 15 minus 5. So, magiging negative to. And then yung 3x naman, ilipat natin sa left side ng equation. So, this one. So, this one, ilipat natin to the right, kaya naging negative 5. Yung 3x, ilipat natin to the left side of equation. So, magiging negative 3x siya. So, 4x minus 3x is just equal to, so lipat natin dito sa right. 4x minus 3x is just equal to x, right? And then 15 minus 5, yung nasa right side natin is equal to 10. So, therefore, x is equal to 10. Alright. So, yun na yung value ng x. Now, what do we do with x? Ito ba yung tinatanong sa atin? Usually, yung choices nyo dyan sa problem, so sa actual exam, yung choices nyo dyan, most of the time, lalabas yung 10. So pag nakita nyo, x is equal to 10, choice letter A is 10, 10 is answer. So, mali na agad yon. So, be careful. Ang tinatanong sa atin, how old is the father currently? Ano ba yung x? Recall ano yung expression natin. Sabi natin, x is yung age ng daughter currently. Ang hinahanap, how old is the father currently? So, the age of the father currently is 4 times x, right? 4 times as old as the daughter. So, if x is equal to 10, the father's age is 4x. So, 4x is just equal to 4 times 10. Yung x is equal to 10. So, the father's age is equal to 40. So, that's the current age of the father, and that's the correct answer. Okay? We should check. Let's check if these values are correct. So, check natin 4x. So sabi natin, the daughter is 10, x is equal to 10 years old, and then the father is 40 years old, right? Check natin, sa future ba, pag in-apply na, gaano katanda sila in 5 years, and magiging 3 times as old ba? So, kapag tama yon, ibig sabihin, tama yung sagot natin, right? Kasi in 5 years, right? So, in 5 years, kung 10 years old ngayon yung daughter, in 5 years, magiging 15, right? X plus 5. So, magiging 15 years old yung daughter. Yung father naman, 4x plus 5, or alam natin na 40 siya, so 4x is 10, plus 5 is 45, or simply, 40 years old siya ngayon. Alam natin 5 years, palagdagan lang ng 5, so magiging 45 ngayon yung father. Check nyo, 3 times as old ba yon in 5 years? Kasi yun yung sabi ng problem, he should be 3 times as old as she will be then in 5 years. So, 45 versus 15. Yes, 15 times 3 is 45. So, valid yung valid yung answer natin kapag chinek natin. Yun yung kagandahan sa word problems. Mache-check nyo yung answer nyo kung tama or mali. Okay, so this is the answer is 40. So again, reminder in when checking the choices. So most likely set of choice that examiners would make in the exam. So you will see A, B, C, D is 10, 40, 10, 15, 40, 45. So that would usually be the set of choices. It's designed to confuse you. So focus lang kayo ano ba yung hinahanap talaga. Kasi pwede nyo makakalculate nyo si 10, 15, 40, 45, pero ang hinahanap talaga is the current age of the father, which is 4x equal to 40. Pero lahat ng to usually lalabas yan sa choices. So just be careful. Okay, basta excited na, okay, nakita nyo yung number, then yun na agad. Okay? So that's the age problem. You will encounter many problems like this. There's also a bunch of these problems in the app, and you would also find online. And for sure, this will come out in the exam age problem in some form. Not exactly this one, but similar, very similar forms. Okay. Don't memorize the steps. Memorize the understanding on how you solve the problem. Kasi masyadong maraming variation to memorize the step by step. So isipin nyo paano ba siya i-solve algebraically. Okay. Next natin ngayon, work problem. May questions ba sa age problem? Okay. Sige, punta na tayo sa work problem. So work problem, this is usually a hard problem. So okay, so medyo confusing usually in work problem, pero let's break it down in more understandable terms. So this first example is a work problem, a hard one. Alice can type 60 pages in 6 hours. Bob can type 60 pages in 12 hours. If they work together, how long will it take them to type 60 pages? Yeah, sipin nyo. Kano nga ba katagal? So, when working, very important concept in work problems is if you think about it, ito yung sense check nyo siya. Later on gagamitin natin sa sense check. Kung mag-isa lang si Alice nagta-type, gaano kabilis siya mag-type? Nung 60 pages. 6 hours, di ba? Tapos na niya in 6 hours. Kahit wala si Bob. Right? Ngayon, kung nandyan si Bob, ano mangyayari? Dapat bibilis or babagal? Mas mabilis or mas mabagal sa 6 hours? Sige, isipin nyo. Babagal or bibilis? Kapag sumama na si Bob, di ba? Kasi, babagal ba siya or bibilis? Ito yung minsan nakakalito sa word problem, yung common na confusing part. Right? Kasi kung mag-isa lang si Alice, 6 hours, tinulungan na siya ni Bob. Pero si Bob, mas mabagal siya, di ba? Pero tinulungan niya si Alice. Dapat, kapag dalawa na sila, bibilis. Mas mabilis sa 6 hours. Tama? Kasi, kung babagal lang din kung halimbawa, tumulong si Bob, naging 7 hours, dapat hindi na lang tumulong si Bob, di ba? Di ba? Yan yung isipin nyo. Ang common error sa work problems, ina-add yung time. So, okay. 6 hours si Alice, 12 hours si Bob. Pag dalawa sila, 6 plus 12, 18. Yun yung common error sa work problems. Makikita nyo yun sa choices. Kasi, but if you think about it, hindi pwedeng 18 hours. Kasi kahit kung mag-isa si Alice, 6. Kung mag-isa si Bob, 12. Kapag magkasama sila, dapat mas mabilis dun sa pinakamabilis, si Alice. Kasi si Alice, tinulungan na ni Bob, so mas bibilis pa sa 6 hours. So, dapat ang makuha natin na answer, mas mababa sa 6 hours. So, mas mabilis sa 6 hours kapag dalawa sila. Okay? So, otherwise, nanggugulo lang si Bob, di ba? Pero usually in the problems, like this Bob can types, wala naman sinabing nanggugulo si Bob. It says that he could type 60 pages in 12 hours. So if they work together, how long will it take them to type 60 pages? So how do we express this? So yung work rates, si Alice, so sisa natin si Alice, 60 pages in 6 hours. Ito yung gaano siya kabilis. Then, so basically, kung meron kang 60 pages in 6 hours, pwede mo rin sabihin na 60 divided by 6 is 10 pages per hour. Yan yung rate ni Alice. Si Bob naman, kaya niya ng 60 pages in 12 hours. So, ibig sabihin ng rate niya is 60 divided by 12 is 5. So, simplify lang natin yung expression para mas maliit yung number. So, 5 pages per hour. Ito yung rate ni Bob. So, mas mabilis si Alice mag-type. Mas mabagal si Bob. Pero, they will work together. Right? So, if they work together, what should be the rate if they're together? So, in terms of work problems, i-add nyo lang yung rates, yung work rates, not the time, not the 6 hours and 12. Ang i-add nyo yung rate. Gaano kabilis yung work rates yung kailangan nyo i-add. Gaano kabilis sila magtrabaho, yung work per hour, not the hours. So para i-add to, paano nyo i-add to? I-add nyo lang si Alice and Bob. So 10 pages per hour plus 5 pages per hour. Pareho lang sila ng denominator. Para ka lang nag-add ng fraction, di ba? So numerators, 10 pages, 5 pages. So pag kinumbine nyo, 15 pages per hour. So 15 pages per hour yung kaya nilang dalawa. Kasi 10 kaya ni Alice, 5 kaya ni Bob. Kapag dalawa sila, 15 pages per hour yung kaya nila i-type. So ito yung i-add nyo lang yung work rates nung mga nag-work together. Yan, 15 pages per hour. So ang question sa atin, how long will it take? Ito yung combined rate nila, combined work. How long will it take them to type 60 pages? So 60 pages, hinahanap lang natin, kung 15 pages per hour, 60 pages, ang gagawin nyo lang, i-divide nyo. Tama? 60 pages divided by 15 pages per hour. So that should be, kung 15 yung kaya mo tapusin per hour, kung 60 yung pages, so 60 divided by 15 is 4 hours, right? Another way to think about it, if nalilito kayo sa mental nun, isipin nyo lang, 60 divided by 15, right? Pag nagde-divide ka, so ito, kung nalilito kayo sa ganun na straight, 60 divided by 15 pages per hour is equal to 4 hours, isipin nyo lang dito, para ka nagde-divide ng fraction, right? So meron kang denominator na 1 dito. So 60 pages divided by 15 pages per hour. Ano bang ginagawa natin kapag nagde-divide ng fraction? Pag nagde-divide ng fraction, para ka lang din may 1 dito, 1 hour. Right? Pag nagde-divide ka ng fraction, ang ginagawa natin, nire-reciprocal natin. Numerator, denominator, pinapagbaliktad natin. Reciprocal. Tapos, instead of division, magiging multiplication na siya. So, pag in-apply natin to, pwede nating i-multiply na lang. So, na-flip na natin, na-reciprocal na natin. Mag-apply na tayo ng multiplication. So, yung numerator times numerator, 60, ano yung nasa numerator natin? 60 pages, 1 hour. Kasama yan lahat. Ito, maganda to gamitin nyo na approach kung nalilito kayo sa problem. Ang kailangan, ang isipin nyo lang, ano yung units na kailangan mo? Ang kailangan mo na units is hours. So, kailangan ma-cancel yung pages. Right? So, ang gawin nyo rito, 60 pages multiplied by 1 hour. So, 60, ano pa yung mga units na nasa numerator? Merong pages, merong hour. Then, ano yung nasa denominator? Meron tayong 1, meron tayong 15, meron tayong pages. Pagsamahin natin si 60 over 15, meron tayong pages, meron tayong hours sa numerator. So, makikita nyo, in this way, mahanap nyo, ma-cancel out nyo yung mga units na hindi natin kailangan, may iwan yung target unit natin. So, ma-cancel yung pages, may iwan yung hour, and 60 divided by 15 is just equal to 4. So, naiwan na lang sa atin is 4 hours na units natin. So, maganda to gamitin kung case na lito kayo na ano ba, isipin nyo lang, ano yung unit na hinahanap nyo? Hours. So, kailangan ma-cancel yung ibang unit. Okay? In case malito kayo. So, sense check, 4 hours. Sabi natin kanina, kung si Alice lang, 6 hours, right? So, dapat yung number na makuha natin, less than 6 hours. Kasi kung tumulong si Bob, dapat mas bibilis pa yung work. Kasi kung mag-isa lang si Alice, 6 hours. So, now tumulong si Bob, naging 4 hours na lang. So, that's the answer, 4 hours for them to type 60 pages. Okay? Questions. Next example. So another work problem. So another work problem, hard one. Yeah, pipe problem. Two pipes A and B can fill a tank in 20 hours. 20 hours and 30 hours respectively. If both pipes are opened simultaneously, how long will it take to fill the tank? Assuming the tank is empty, right? So meron ka dalawang pipe na nagfi-fill sa tank. So kung isa lang kung si pipe A lang, wala si pipe B, 20 hours bago mapuno yung tangke. Kung mag-isa lang si B, wala si pipe A, 30 hours para mapuno yung tangke, right? Kung dalawa sila nakabukas, gaano kabilis daw yung gaano katagal bago mapuno yung tangke. Ngayon, again, sense check natin, dapat ang makuha natin na answer, ano dapat? Dapat ano dapat yung makuha natin na answer? Isipin nyo. Ano lang, sense check. Mas mababa sa 30, mas mataas sa 30, mas mababa sa 20, mas mataas sa 20. Isipin nyo. Ano yung reference point natin dito? Sa pag-sense check. Yun yung sa umpisahan natin sa problem. Kung nagmamadali na kayo, di ba, pwede nyo tignan lang yung choices eh. Kasi, right? Dapat mas mababa sa 20. Minsan, pag tinignan nyo yung choices, baka hindi nyo na pala kailangan i-solve. Kung makita nyo yung choices, halimbawa, for example lang, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, isa lang yung mas mababa sa 20. So, yun na yung pipiliin nyo na answer kasi kailangan mas mababa siya sa 20. So, sometimes, baka hindi kailangan mag-solve. So, kasi bakit natin nasabing mas mababa sa 20? Kasi kung mag-isa lang si pipe A, 20 hours siya. So, dapat kung dalawa na sila, mas mabilis pa siya sa 20 kasi tinulungan na nga siya ni pipe B eh. So, dapat mas mabilis sa 20 hours. Kasi mag-isa lang si pipe A, 20, tinulungan ni pipe B, so dapat mas mabilis. So, how do we express this in terms of work rates? So, sabi natin, sa work rate ni A is kaya niya i-fill yung isang buong tank in 20 hours. So, work rate ni B, kaya niya i-fill yung tank ng 30 hours. So, one tank per 30 hours. Si B. Together, ano yung hours? Ito yung hinahanap sa atin. Pag gaano ka bilis si tank, yung pag-fill ng together, how many hours? To do that, i-simplify lang natin. Yung rate ni A is just equal to 1 over 20. So, to simplify, kasi yan yung tank per hours na kaya niya i-fill. So, si B naman, 1 over 30 yung rate, right? Ito lang siya, tank per hours yung unit niya. Kasi hinahanap natin is this. So, since hindi natin alam gaano kabilis yung together, ilagay natin yan as 1 over x. So, 1 over 20, 1 over 30, 1 over x. Ito yung rates, yung work rates ng A, B, and ng together A plus B. Now, if you think about it, ano yung relationship nitong dalawa, right? So, if isipin nyo, pag inad natin, A plus B, dapat yung pag inad mo yung rate nila, equal lang sila sa 1 over x. What do we mean by that? 1 plus 20, 1 over 20 plus 1 over 30 equal dapat yan sa 1 over x or this expression below. Kasi sabi natin kanina, pag inad mo yung rate ni A, rate ni B, equal dun sa rate na magkasama sila. Parang in the previous example with Alice and Bob, we just add their rate. So here, you also add their rates. Again, not the time, but the rate, which is 1 over 20 and 1 over 30 equal yan sa 1x. So we have this expression. Now, if you have this expression, how do you solve for x? Right? Nawawala natin yung x. You could do, well, you could do trial and error, but it will take you longer. Will take you longer to solve. So combine natin yung left side as a one whole fraction. Then so that we could cross multiply. So the left side is what's the least common multiple? So kailangan natin ng least common multiple when solving for adding fractions since magkaiba sila ng denominator. So the least common multiple of 20 and 30 is 60. So 20, 40, 60, then 30, 60. So the least common multiple is 60. So we have a session discussing least common multiple, our very first session in basic operations. So here we have the least common multiple that would be our denominator. So to get the numerator, kailangan nyo lang gawin, i-divide nyo yung previous denominator and then i-multiply nyo sa numerator. 60 divided by 20 is 3 times the numerator 1. So yung numerator natin dito is 3. So 60 divided by 20 is 3 times 1. So our numerator here is 3. Denominator naman, 60 divided by 30 here. The previous denominator, 60 divided by 30 is 2 times the numerator 1. So 2 times 1 is just 2. So that's the new fractions. These are the upscaled fractions as we call it, right? Because we just upscaled it. Basically, we multiplied this fraction by 3. We multiply this fraction by 2. So we have here 3 over 60 and 2 over 60. The right side will still be the same, 1 over x. Take note that since we have the same denominator, we could now add the numerator. So 60, so numerators is just 3 and 2. We could add them. So this will be equal to 5 over 60. Okay? So now that we only have one fraction in the left side of the equation, we could cross multiply. This will be cross multiply, or another way to think about this is, well, we could multiply. This will be 5x is equal to 60, right? 5x is equal to 60, or pwede nyo rin i-lowest term. So the numbers would be simpler. So paano nyo i-lowest term? 5 divided by 60, the greatest common factor is 5. So divide nyo lang by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So either way, pwede nyo rin i-cross multiply na to. 60 is equal to 5x, then divide both sides by 5. So pareho lang yung makuha nyo. 60 divided by 5 is 12. Pag nilowest term nyo tong 5 over 60, magiging to 1 over 12 by dividing it numerator denominator with 5. 1 over 12, cross multiply, x, 1 times x, and 1 times 12. So x is equal to 12. So either way, kung nilowest term nyo or hindi, pareho lang makukuha nyo x is equal to 12. Ano nga ba si x? X yung sabi natin, pag together, how long it will take to fill the tank. Kasi 20 is for A, 30 is for B, X is for A plus B. So this is the hours that it will take to fill the tank together with A and B together, right? So again, i-sense check natin. Sense check, the answer should be, as we mentioned, as we started earlier with the problem, dapat mas mababa sa 20 hours yung makukuha natin. Kasi if it's just pipe A alone, it could already fill the tank within 20 hours. So with the help of pipe B, it should be faster. So dapat mas mabilis sa 20 hours kapag kasama na yung pipe B. Tinulungan siya ni pipe B. So dapat yung 20 hours bibilis pa, right? Hindi babaga. Hindi nyo i-add si 20 and 30. Okay, so the answer should be less than 20 hours, which is correct. So okay, that's those are the work problems. There's a question, saan po nakuha yung 60? 60 is the least common multiple. So 20, so because para ma-add nyo yung fraction, kailangan meron kayong same denominator. To get the same denominator, ang gagamitin nyo doon is yung least common multiple. In this case, ano yung multiples ng 20? 20, 40, 60. Ano yung multiples ng 30? 30, 60. So your least common multiple is 60. So yun yung gagamitin natin para kasi kailangan pareho ng denominator to add the fraction. So meron tayong session na diniscuss natin yung least common multiple dun sa first session natin. So pwede nyo rin i-review doon if ever need nyo ng refresher sa pag-upscale ng fraction or yung second session sa pag-add ng fractions. May mga timestamp din yun na pwede nyo makikita nyo dun sa description. Pwede kayo mag-fast forward dun sa least common multiple topic itself or addition of fraction dun sa session 2. Yep. So ito yung these are the work problems that you will encounter. Again, ang key lang concept dito is add the work rates, not the time, the work rates. The work per time. Questions? Walang questions? All right. Let's move to the next example. Speed problem. Yep. Yan. So, punta na tayo sa speed problem. Yeah. This one is just a medium. Let's start with a medium one. Very important din tong mga speed problem. Actually, lahat ng board problems important. Pero ito yung isa sa mga common din na maraming lumalabas is yung speed problem. Mga variation ng speed problem. Sa speed problem, let's discuss it using an example first. So, for example, Sarah cycles to work at a speed of 12 miles per hour. If her workplace is 9 miles away, how long does it take her to get to work? Okay. So do you remember in speed, just remember one equation. You just need to remember one equation. Speed is equal to distance over time. That's why yung mga speedometer sa mga sasakyan nakalagay kilometers per hour or kung nasa British area kayo or Australian or Canadian, it could be miles per hour, but most commonly kilometers per hour. So meron kang distance, kilometer, over time, the hour. So distance per time. Ito lang yung formula na kailangan nyo tandaan. Speed is equal to distance over time or S is equal to D over T. Kasi yung ibang formula, pwede nyo namang ma-derive dito eh. So, ako personally, hindi ako mahilig mag-memorize ng formula. Yung isang formula lang, then diniderive ko lang doon yung iba pa. Pero up to you kung anong mas convenient sa inyo. Pero within this formula lang, speed is equal to distance over time. Pwede nyo na makalculate yung distance, for example. Paano ba i-calculate yung distance? Yung distance is just cross-multiply nyo lang to. S over 1 yan. So, S times T, D over D times 1. So, D is equal to S times T. Or distance is just the speed times time. Kung ang speed mo is 100 kilometers per hour and umandar ka ng isang oras, 100 kilometers per hour times 1 hour is 100 kilometers, right? Kung 100 kilometers yung takbo mo per hour, kung naka-isang oras ka, di makaka 100 kilometers ka. Kung naka-2 oras ka, makaka 200 kilometers ka. That's your distance. Just speed times time. Again, kinross multiply mo lang. Ito, D is equal to ST or distance is speed times time. Ngayon, paano naman kung ang hinahanap is time? Right? Kung hinahanap is time, so paano natin makukuha kung hinahanap si time? Ang gagawin nyo lang, i-divide nyo to both sides by, kailangan nyo i-isolate si t, right? I-divide nyo both sides ito by s. So, d over s, ito makakancel yung s, so may iwan na lang si t, then meron kang d over s. So, time is just distance over speed. So, that's your time. Distance over speed. So again, ito lang yung kailangan nyo tandaan. Speed is equal to distance over time. So now let's apply this to the problem. So 12 miles per hour, if her workplace 9 miles, how long does it take her to get to work? Meaning, ang hinahanap natin is time. And time is equal to distance over speed. So in the example, yung unknown natin is time, which is time is just distance over speed. So ano yung distance natin? 9 miles away. Workplace is 9 miles away. Speed is 12 miles per hour. So 9 miles over 12 miles per hour. So, pwede nyo rin yan sabihin na kasi may fraction bar ka, di ba? Para hindi kayo malito sa units or para mas maintindihan nyo siya. Basically, yung 9 miles, meron siyang denominator na 1 imaginary. Dinidivide nyo yung 9 miles by 12 miles per hour. Yan yung nangyayari. Ngayon, kapag dinidivide nyo siya, ano ba sabi natin pag division ng fraction? I-reciprocal nyo lang yung divisor and then magiging multiplication na siya. In this case, binaliktad lang natin 12 miles per 1 hour, naging 1 hour over 12 miles, tas naging multiplication na. In this case, pwede mo na i-multiply numerator. 9 miles times 1 hour, 1 times 12 miles. So, lipat lang natin dito. So, this is ito magiging 9 miles times 1 hour. So, yan yung numerator natin. 9 miles, 1 hour. Denominator natin is just 1 times 12 times miles. So, kung makikita nyo, magka-cancel out dito yung miles. Pagiging 1 lang yan. Ito, mawala lang din to. Right? So, mawala lang din yung 1 na yan. So, maiiwan sa atin 9 over 12. 9 over 12, 9 over 12 hours. Now, kung meron kang 9 over 12, paano natin ma-simplify yan? Gusto natin i-convert yan sa lowest term. Kung maalala nyo pa pag lowest term, paano mag-lowest term? Divide nyo lang by the greatest common factor. In this case, ang greatest common factor ng 9 and 12 is 3. So, pag dinivide nyo si 9 divided by 3 and 12 divided by 3, makukuha nyo dyan is, so 9 divided by 3 is 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So, 3/4 hours. Or, paano nga ulit natin kukunin yung um, what you call this, decimal. So, 3/4, ang common fraction pwede natin gamitin. Alam natin, common fraction, 1/4 is equal to 0.25, right? So, 3/4 is just 3 times of 1/4. So, 3 times ng 0.25. 3 times ng 0.25 is 0.75. So, we have 0.75 hours. Or pag kinonvert nyo sa minutes, so 3/4 ng 60 is 45 minutes pag kinonvert nyo siya. Depende sa hinahanap ng choices. So, makikita nyo sa choices kung naka-hours or naka-minutes ba siya. So, i-convert nyo lang yung hours to minutes or just stick with hours kung hours yung nasa choices. Okay? So, yan yung time it takes to cover 9 miles kung 12 miles per hour yung takbo. I-sense check natin. Ang sense check dito, how do you sense check this one? How long will she travel kung 1 hour siya? Ano yung distance na makocover niya in 1 hour? Isipin nyo, kung 1 hour, kung instead na 0.75 hours, kung 1 hour siya nag-cycle, ano yung distance na makocover niya? Kung 1 hour siya nag 12 miles per hour. Yung sense checking natin, so yung para mas mag-gets natin by the hour. So kung 1 hour siya nag-cycle, ang makocover niya na distance, since 12 miles per hour, tapos isang oras siya, 12 miles yung makocover niya. Kasi per hour, 12 miles yung makocover. So, ang mangyayari dyan, 12 miles per hour, times 1 hour, is 12 miles yung makocover niya. Eh sabi natin, yun yung isang oras. Sabi natin, ang workplace is just 9 miles away. Ibig sabihin, dapat yung makuha natin na sagot less than 1 hour. Kung naging more than 1 hour, meron tayong ginawang mali. Kasi, 9 miles lang yung kailangan eh. So, hindi na kailangan umabot ng isang oras. Kasi kung isang oras, makaka 12 miles ka na. So, kung 9 miles lang yung kailangan mo, mas mababa yun sa 1 hour. So, tama na sense check natin. 0.75 is less than 1 hour. So, okay. That's one example of speed problem, a medium one. Questions? Okay, let's move to the next example. I'll make question, what about for area or perimeter? We will have those problems under basic geometry. So we have word problems there as well sa basic geometry. So these are more of the more common word problems. Yung meron din tayong word problems na statistics, geometry, nandun siya sa topic na basic geometry, basic statistics. Kasama natin siya doon. So later on pa siya sa ibang sessions, yung geometric na word problems. So next example, speed problem. So we'll have two more examples of speed problems. This one is hard. So the previous one is medium. This one is hard. Um, so example natin ng speed problem na hard. Cyclist travels to a park at a speed of 12 kilometers per hour. So cyclist ulit. So and returns at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour. If the round trip took 5 hours, what is the distance to the park? So try nyo siya i try nyo ilagay yung situation nyo. Minsan mas madali maintindihan yung problem kung isipin nyo kayo yung sa cycle, you yourself. Halimbawa, papunta ka raw sa park na mas mabilis, 12 kilometers per hour. Nung pabalik ka na, 8 kilometers per hour, pwedeng baka paakyat yung pabalik, right? Yung pababa, mas mabilis. Yung papunta sa park, baka pababa, kaya 12 kilometers per hour. O baka naman pagod ka na after going to the park, kaya 8 kilometers per hour na lang. So, pero magkaiba ng speed papunta, iba ng speed pabalik. Tapos, ang hinahanap, gaano kalayo yung park? Mula dun sa starting point ng cyclist, di ba? So, nag-round trip si cyclist. Magkaiba ng distance yung papunta, pabalik, pero round trip siya. Ang sinabi lang sa atin, yung buong round trip, 5 oras. Ang question, gaano kalayo yung park? Sige, iisipin nyo, paano natin to isosolve kaya? Isipin nyo lang muna. Ano yung mga important realizations dito? Yung mga clue para ma-solve natin itong problem na to. So, meron tayong clue number 1. In terms of distance, anong masasabi natin sa distance? Anong masasabi natin sa distance? First, kasi round trip siya, kung ano yung papunta na distance, ganun din yung pabalik, right? Pumunta ka, bumalik. Yung going to the park, same distance yan ng return. Okay? So, ito yung isang important na concept before we solve this one. So, yung distance papunta, pareho lang sa distance pabalik. Now, ano pang isa pang realization? Yung total time, ano masasabi natin sa total time? Well, yung total time, ano yung oras papunta, plus i-add mo yung oras pabalik, yan yung total time, right? So, ito yung two main realizations na kailangan natin para ma-solve itong problem na to. So, yung distance, papunta, pabalik, same lang. Yung total time, sabi natin 5 hours yun, is just equal to yung time na papunta plus yung time na pabalik. Now, isipin natin, paano natin isa-solve ba to? So, try natin gamitin itong distance lang. Okay? Try natin yung isa munang approach, distance. So, yung distance na papunta pabalik equal, sabi natin saan equal yung distance? Distance is just speed times time, right? Speed times time, makukuha mo na yung distance. So, try muna natin tong distance. Ano ba yung distance paano mo kakalculate yung distance ng papunta? So, yung distance ng papunta, speed times time, ano ba yung speed ng papunta? So, speed times time nung papunta times gaano kabilis yung papunta, right? Yung time. Equal daw yan. Express mo natin, equal daw yan sa yung yung speed nung pabalik. Pa-apply lang natin to sa papunta pabalik, yung speed times time. Speed nung pabalik, nung return, nilagyan lang natin ng S na may G para to indicate na ito yung speed ng papunta, ito yung time nung papunta, ito yung speed nung pabalik, yung return, and yung time nung pabalik, yung return. Kaya lang nilagyan natin ng R. Pero pareho lang silang speed times time. So, alam natin yung speed nung papunta, right? Yung going. Yung speed nung papunta, 12 kilometers per hour. Pero hindi natin alam yung time. Gaano kabilis ba nung papunta siya sa park. Hindi natin alam to, yung naka-red. Pero alam din natin yung speed ng pabalik. Gaano kabilis daw yung pabalik? 8 kilometers per hour. Kung 8 kilometers per hour yung pabalik, gaano katagal daw yan? Hindi rin natin alam eh. Ang alam lang natin yung total, right? Hindi natin alam gaano katagal yung papunta, pabalik. Alam lang natin yung pagkasama na papunta, pabalik na time. Pero yung individual, hindi natin alam. So kung makikita nyo dito, meron tayong dalawang unknown. Isa lang yung equation natin. So hindi natin masosolve using ito. Hindi natin masolve using itong distance approach. Yung inequalize natin yung distance, well, wala tayong masosolve dito kasi hindi natin alam to, hindi natin alam to. So, hindi tayo magpo-progress kasi dalawa yung unknowns natin, isa lang yung equation natin. So, ngayon, itry natin ito, yung kabila, yung total time. Right? Sabi natin, yung time is just the distance over the speed. So, pag in-apply natin yan sa going and gawin natin kanina. So, distance over speed, i-apply natin sa papunta, i-apply natin sa pabalik. So, distance over speed. So, here, distance over speed ng papunta. So, nilagyan na natin ng G to indicate yung going. So, distance over speed. Plus, distance nung pabalik ng return over speed nung pabalik yung return. Sabi natin, equal daw yan sa... by the way, yung distance, ay yung total time, ito yung time natin, equal yan sa 5 hours. Before tayo mag-move on, yung yung sabi natin kanina, ano yung isang realization natin, yung distance ng papunta saka distance ng pabalik, ano yung sabi natin? Pareho sila, right? Yung papunta, pabalik, same distance lang. So, ibig sabihin, itong D na going and yung distance ng return, pwede natin sabihin na D lang. Kasi hindi natin kailangan sabihin na D ng going, D ng return. It's just D, the distance papunta and yung distance pabalik. So, ito yung one-way distance, right? Okay tayo dito kasi same to, right? Yung papunta, gano'ng kalayo yung papunta, gano'ng kalayo yung pabalik. So, hindi natin kailangan i-indicate kung going or return. D lang siya. Now, ano yung sabi natin? Ano yung speed nung papunta? Yung speed nung papunta is 12. 12 kilometers per hour. Yung speed nung pabalik is 8 kilometers per hour. Ito yan, nasa denominator natin. So, ano nga ulit to? Total time. Ito yung time na papunta, ito yung time ng pabalik. Saan daw equal yung total time natin? Kaya sa problem, equal yan sa 5 hours. So now, we have this expression. We have this expression now na meron kang unknown D, yung distance, and the rest are, isa lang yung variable na D. So, mahanap natin, ano yung value ni D, right? So, to solve for the value of D, ang gagawin muna natin, to isolate D on one side, i-combine muna natin tong fractions. So, to combine yung fraction, kailangan natin ng least common multiple kasi magkaiba yung denominator. So, 12 and 8. So, gamitin natin dito, paano natin kukunin yung least common multiple? Paano natin ma-add? So, para makakuha tayo ng same denominator, multiple ni 12 is 12, 24. Multiple ni 8 is 8, 16, 24. So, yung least common multiple natin is 24. Again, if you need help in least common multiple and adding fractions, we have a session na you could go back to sa basic operations and fractions, adding fractions. We have a session there so you could use the timestamp to go straight to the topic. So, may timestamp sa description. So here, least common multiple is 24. So now we will convert this fraction to another fraction that 24 yung denominator. Basically, upscaling the fraction. So to do that, i-divide mo lang. Ano yung new denominator natin? The LCM. 24 divided by 12 is 2. And then, you multiply that to the numerator. So 24 divided by 12 is 2 times the numerator. So 2 times D. Our numerator is D, the variable, the unknown. And then we have here 24 divided by 8 is 3. And then multiply it to numerator is 3D. Right? 3 times D. So we are just upscaling because if you see, if you get the lowest term of 2 over 24 is 1 over 12, which is same here. If you get the lowest term of 3 over 24 is 1 over 8, which is the same here. So in-upscale lang natin yung fraction. Yes, yung LCM sa pag-add and subtract ng fraction, yung ginagamit siya. Because we need a common denominator to add or subtract fractions, and that common denominator is most conveniently the least common multiple. Greatest common factor, we use that sometimes, not all the time, in division and subtraction of division and multiplication of fraction, and we use that for lowest term. So to simplify the terms, so LCM we use for the addition or subtraction of fractions. So yep. So here we have the numerator is we combine 2 times d is 2d, and then 3 times d is 3d. So over 24 sila pareho. Now that we have the same denominator, pwede na natin i-add yung numerator. Pwede lang tayo mag-add ng numerator. Remember, from our fractions session, you could add the numerator if you have the same denominator. So now we have the same denominator, 2d plus 3d, we could add. Same denominator, 24. So this will be equal to 5d. 2d plus 3d is 5d over 24. So now, how do we go about this? I-cross multiply natin. 5d, meron tayong imaginary 5 over 1 dyan. So 5d times 1 and 5 times 24, cross multiply. So that's equal to 5d, or equals to 5 times 24. It could be the other way around. It could be 5 times 24 is equal to 5d. So it doesn't matter. So it's more convenient here. Let's just put 5d is equal to 5 times 24. And okay, let's put it here. Before you could multiply 5 times 24, or you could let it remain as is, because pwede nyo, ano yung kailangan natin ma-isolate yung d in one side, and see that we need to divide by 5 anyway. So huwag muna natin i-multiply by 5. What do I mean by that? So i-divide na lang din natin siya by 5. So wag na muna natin ito i-multiply kasi makikita natin na magka-cancel yung 5 dito, magka-cancel yung 5 sa right side. May iwan na lang sa atin is 24. So d is equal to 24. So anong units nito? D is equal to 24 kilometers kasi this is distance. So ganito kalayo yung park from the starting point. All right? Check natin. So that's a good thing about word problems, you could check. Right? Yung total time going plus return, kailangan mag-total sa 5 hours. Ano ba yung time? Time is just the distance over speed. Right? Kanina, ito yung expression natin earlier. Distance over speed. Ito yung time papunta, d over 12, kasi 12 yung speed papunta. Yung distance natin is d. Then yung time pabalik is distance over speed din. Yung speed natin pabalik is 8. So d over 8, yung distance natin is d. Substitute natin yung nakuha natin na value na d. So d is 24. So substitute natin dito 24. Pareho, yung d rin. So 24 divided by 12, ito yung papunta. Ilang oras yun? 24 divided by 12 is 2 hours. Yung pabalik naman, d over 8, 24 divided by 8 is 3 hours. Right? Ito yung time. Pag ipinag-add natin, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. The round trip took 5 hours. So yes, tama yung 24 kilometers na distance. Questions? Questions? So yeah, let's move to the next one. Okay, questions. First solution. Yeah, yung questions, you mean the problem right here? Here, yeah. Ito. Yeah, we have here yung distance, right? So, alam natin na yung distance, yung time papunta We know that time is just distance over speed. Distance, okay. Question. Good point to. Bakit po inalis yung G and R sa numerator? So sabi natin kanina, ano yung realization natin about G and D, yung mga realizations natin? Sabi natin, yung papunta, yung distance, yung papunta sa kapabalik, pareho lang, right? Kung yung dinaanan niya papunta, same route yung dinaanan niya pabalik. So, kaya natin inalis dito yung yung G and R kasi in this case, DG is equal to DR. Yung distance nung papunta, yung distance going, so distance ng return, pareho lang sila. Kaya sinimplify na lang natin na D lang yung tatawag natin kasi pareho lang. Yung distance na papunta, going, distance na return, it's the same number. So let's just call it D instead of calling it DG and DR. Kasi kapag tinawag natin siya na DG and DR, pag nilagay natin dito DG-DR, magkaibang variable siya, di ba? Hindi natin ma-solve yung equation. Pero alam naman natin na equal lang silang dalawa. So, palitan na lang natin siya ng D lang. Actually, pwede nyo gamitin dyan, palitan nyo lang siya ng X. So, DG is equal to X, DR is equal to X. So, basta alam natin na yung distance is pareho sila. So, yung distance mo papunta, going, distance mo pabalik yung return, same number yung D or X or kung ano mang favorite variable nyo. Kaya natin inalis yung G and R. Okay? So, this is a round trip. Okay. So, yan is 5 hours. So, dito natin, ito yung sinolve natin. Kasi yung time, papunta, time pabalik, which is D over speed, distance over speed, is equal to 5. So, sinolve lang natin yung value ng D and we found out that the value of D is equal to 24. And that 24 is in kilometers kasi naka-kilometers per hour tayo dito. So, yung distance natin na ma-calculate is in kilometers. Yung ginamit natin na 5 is in hours, right? So, yan. Check natin. 5 hours. 24 over 12, 24 over 8. So, same 24 kilometers yung binyahe papunta sa park ng cyclist. Okay? Questions? Nasagot ba yung question? Bakit inalis yung G and R sa numerator? Okay. All right. So, awesome. So, two jeepneys, A and B, start from the same point and drive in opposite directions. Jeepney A travels at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour and B travels at 12 kilometers per hour. After how many hours will they be 100 kilometers apart? Sa slow speed, maybe Manila traffic, di ba? So, traffic lagi. So, 8 kilometers per hour and 12 kilometers per hour yung B. Gaano katagal daw bago sila maging 100 kilometers apart? So, pa-opposite sila. Ngayon, ang magandang gawin kung nalilito kayo sa problem, especially speed problems, i-drawing nyo siya. So, meron tayong visual para mas ma-gets natin yung problem. So, starting from, meron tayong jeepney A and meron tayong jeepney B. Tapos, sabi natin, ang speed ni A is 8 kilometers per hour. Si A yung gray lang, yung steel, let's say steel lang na jeepney, hindi siya painted. Then B is 12 kilometers per hour. So, ang tanong sa problem, pareho sila nagka-travel sa ganitong speed, opposite direction. Ibig sabihin, palayo sila ng palayo sa isa't isa, right? So, pa-travel sila ng pa-travel. Kung makikita nyo, medyo mas nauuna, mas malayo yung nararating ni B kasi mas mabilis siya, di ba? 12 kilometers per hour siya. Ito, 8 kilometers per hour lang. So, umaandar yung jeep opposite directions. Yan. At what point, ang question sa atin, at what point sila magiging 100 kilometers apart? Gaano katagal bago sila maging ganito kalayo, right? Ilang oras bago sila magiging 100 kilometers apart? Okay? How do we solve this? Right? Okay tayo dito sa concept. So, again, same starting point. Magkaiba ng distance. Magkaiba ng speed. Yung dalawang jeep, si A mas mabagal, si B mas mabilis, 12 kilometers per hour. So, nagmo-move sila. Nagmo-move yung dalawang jeep. Mas lumalayo yung nararating ni B kasi mas mataas yung speed niya. And at some point, dahil palayo sila ng palayo sa isa't isa, at some point, magiging 100 kilometers apart sila. Ngayon, gaano katagal bago dumating sila sa point na yon? Ang realizations dito, so pag nag-solve kayo ng speed problems, first, isipin nyo ano yung mga realization dito sa problem. Una, yung mga key concepts para ma-crack yung problem. Una, yung distance. Yung distance nito na 100 kilometers apart is just the distance traveled by A plus the distance traveled by B, di ba? Naging apart sila, 100 kilometers, so meron kang distance ni A, distance ni B, right? So A plus B is equal to 100. Ganun kalayo. Yung 100, i-add mo lang ilan ba yung tinakbo ni A, ilan yung tinakbo ni B, magto-total yan ng 100. Okay? Ano pa yung isang realization dito? In terms of time, pag-isipin nyo, ano yung time, gaano katagal tumakbo si A at gaano katagal tumakbo si B? Right? Isipin nyo, anong relationship ng time ni A and B? Yung distance sila, pag in-add mo, A plus B is 100, yung total distance. In terms of time, anong relationship ng time ni A sa time ni B? Gaano katagal tumakbo si A? Gaano katagal tumakbo si B? Ano yung time nila? Realization dito, yung time ni A and time ni B is pareho lang. Tama? Kasi sabay sila tumigil, right? Yun yung tinatanong sa atin. After how many hours will they be 100 kilometers apart? So, at some point, titigil sila pareho, 100 kilometers sila. So, same lang. Kung gaano tagal tumakbo si B, ganun katagal tumakbo si A. At that point, 100 kilometers apart sila. So, same lang yung time nilang dalawa. So, using these realizations, we will solve the problem na yung distance, A plus B is 100. Yung time ni A, pareho lang sa time ni B. Both of them had the same time na i-cover yung distance na kinover nila. So, ano ba ang expression ng distance? So, distance is just your speed times time. So, yung distance ni A, therefore, yung speed ni A times yung time. Sabi natin, pareho lang ng time si A saka time si B, right? Kaya huwag na natin ilagyan ng TA kasi pareho lang. TA, TB, let's just call it time for simplicity. Time T. So, yung distance ni A, yung speed niya times yung time kasi isang time lang naman yung nire-refer natin dito. Ito yung how many hours, right? So, yung time naman ni B is yung speed ni B times yung distance ni B is speed ni B times yung time. Yung time nilang dalawa. So, ito is equal to 100, right? Again, yung time dito, pareho lang ng time si A saka si B. Yun yung time na nagse-separate sila. Kaya, T lang yung ginamit natin. Same lang yun for both A and B. So, yung speed ni A, alam natin na. Ano yung speed ni A? 8. 8 kilometers per hour. So, alam natin yan. So, palitan natin dito ng 8 kilometers per hour. Yung speed ni B is 12 kilometers per hour. So, this one is 12 times T. So, palitan lang natin yung speed ni B. So, meron na tayo ngayong expression na 8T, 8 times T yung time, plus 12 times T is equal to 100. Again, si T, ito yung after how many hours, which is the same na time na it took A and B. to cover their respective distances. So, 8t plus 12t, pwede natin yan i-combine to 8 plus 12 is 20t, right? So, 20t, gusto natin malaman ano ba yung value ni t. So, para malaman yung value ni t, divide lang natin both sides by, so to isolate t, divide natin both sides by 20. So, makakancel si 20. So, maiwan yung t sa left side. 100 over 20 is equal to 5. Okay? Ano unit ng 5 natin? Kasi ang ginamit natin dito, kilometers per hour yung 8 sa 12, di ba? So, and this one is kilometers. So, yung unit ni t should be in hours. So, meaning 5 hours bago sila maging 100 kilometers apart. Merong 5 hours na tumatakbo si A, may 5 hours na tumatakbo si B. Kaya sinabi natin na same time lang silang dalawa, right? Kasi 5 hours tumatakbo si A, 5 hours tumatakbo si B. Opposite direction, kaya ka nagkaroon ng distance between them na 100 kilometers. So, before we move on, i-check natin, right? I-check natin, dapat i-apply natin yung distance. Pag kinalculate natin yung distance na tinakbo ni A, yung distance na tinakbo ni B, dapat mag-total yon sa 100. Tama? Ano ba yung distance na tinakbo ni A? Distance is just speed times time. Ano yung speed ni A? 8 times time is 5. Yung distance ni B, yung speed ni B times time ni B. Yung speed ni B is 12, time ni B is 5 din. Pareho lang silang time. So, substitute lang natin 8 times 5 kay A. So, 8 kilometers per hour times 5 hours. So, that's 40 kilometers yung tinakbo ni A. Si B naman, 12 kilometers per hour times 5 hours. So, 5 times 12 is 60. So, that's 60 kilometers. So, 40 kilometers plus 60 kilometers is equal to 100 kilometers. So, tama yung nakuha natin na answer. 5 oras bago sila maging 100 kilometers apart. Alright? Questions? Alright. Let's move to the next example, mixture problem. So, wait, question. Paano po kung kapag yung jeepney A and B naman po din ang itatanong yung time na when sila mag-meet? Yeah, similar approach. Similar approach. So, kumbaga opposite direction ka lang. So, nasa magkabila yung jeepney mo. So, meron kang time na magmi-meet, right? So, same time sila. Dapat given sa'yo yung distance na gaano kalayo sila sa isa't isa, right? So, yung time na mag-meet, pareho lang sila. So, ang mangyayari lang dyan, kapag ganyan yung tanong, halimbawa, sinabi sa atin na they are 100 kilometers apart, how many hours before they meet? So, makakalculate pa rin natin is 5 kung pareho pa yung takbo nila. So, kung 100 kilometers apart sila, 5 oras bago sila mag-meet ulit. Parang ganun din siya. Opposite lang siya. Ngayon, opposite direction sila, 100 kilometers apart sila after 5 hours. Kung 100 kilometers apart sila to begin with, within 5 hours, magmi-meet naman sila. So, ganun din. Kumbaga, it's just another way to ask the problem. Parang ganun. Kumbaga, ibang problem siya, pero similar concept siya. Pwede nyo rin i-drawing. So, magiging pagkakaiba lang, magkahiwalay muna sila bago sila mag-meet. Although, mas masayang story yon na magkahiwalay muna yung dalawang jeep bago mag-meet. Wag lang sila magbabanggaan. So, yun yung sa speed problem natin. So, let's move to the next one, mixture problem. So, last example in the word problems, mixture problem. So, in mixture problem, medyo nadaanan natin to last time sa ratio and proportion. So, ngayon i-apply natin ulit. So, again, kung na-miss nyo yung ratio and proportion, it's a very important session as well kasi marami tayong dinaanan na various examples, various difficulty, easy, medium, hard. For sure, there would be ratio and proportion problems in the exam. So, technically, nag-algebra na rin tayo dun sa ratio and proportion. So, mixture problem, hard problem, You have 100 liters of a 15% orange juice concentrate. How much pure orange juice, yung 100% concentration orange juice, na purong orange juice should be added to obtain a mixture that is 50% orange juice. So, in this problem, if you think about it, you have 100 liters of 15% orange juice concentrate. Ibig sabihin, out of the 100 liters, 15% nun yung puro na juice. So, 15 liters. Ngayon, ang question, gusto mo ngayon tumaas. Instead na 15%, maging 50% orange juice. Kaya, magdadagdag ka ngayon ng purong orange juice, pure orange juice, para tumaas yung concentration. Right? Doon sa 100 liters na nandyan na, magdadagdag ka ng orange juice na puro para maging 50%. Let's visualize this para mas madaling magets. So, meron kang water, meron kang pure orange juice. Sabihin natin na the other components just water, then meron, but for simplicity, then pure orange juice. So, sabi natin, eto raw ay 100 liters na 15% na pure juice. Ito, meron kang purong juice and then water. Ano yung gusto natin mangyari? Gusto natin mangyari, mag-add tayo ng more pure juice, right? More juice. Bakit natin gusto mag-add nito? Hindi natin alam gaano karaming i-add. Basta ang tanong, yan yung hinahanap natin. Gaano karaming idadagdag natin na pure juice. Bakit tayo nag-add again? Gusto natin na yung new concentration is now 50% instead of 15%. Kaya kung makikita nyo, half-half na lang yung water and yung pure juice. Gusto natin maging 50%. Ngayon, hindi natin alam gaano karami ba itong dapat natin i-add. Okay? So, repeat natin yung concept, ha? So, meron tayong, so very important kasi sa word problems na gets nyo yung concept fully before you translate sa algebraic equation. So, meron kang water and pure juice. Yung 100 liters to in total. 15% yung 15% na juice, na pure juice. Ang gusto mo mangyari, magkaroon ka ng 50% na mas puro, mas mataas yung concentration. So, magdadagdag ka ngayon ng pure juice. Pero hindi mo alam gaano karami ba yung pure juice na idadagdag mo. Pero alam mo, ano ba yung target mo? Ang gusto mo, 50% na juice. 50% na juice yung ma-obtain mo. So, hindi mo lang alam ilan yung kailangan idagdag na pure juice para makarating ka sa 50%. Okay? To solve this, kunin muna natin ilan ba yung pure juice dun sa 100 liters, right? Yung starting point natin na 100 liters, sabi natin 15% siya na orange juice concentrate. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 15 liters na pure juice. So, 100 times 15%. So, 15 liters na pure juice. Kung meron tayong 15 liters na pure juice, ibig sabihin, 100 liters yung total. Ibig sabihin, 85 liters doon, tubig lang. Okay? So, ito yung water lang. So, ito yung isipin nyo, yung water, hindi siya nadagdagan, hindi nabawasan. Nandun lang yung water sa mixture natin. Ano lang yung nadagdagan? Nagdagdag ka lang ng juice. Pero yung tubig, pareho lang. 85 liters pa rin yung tubig. Hindi siya nabago. Ano yung nabago? Ito yung pure juice natin. Ito yung initial lang na 15 liters. Pero, nag-add pa tayo ng X liters more. So, hindi pa natin alam gaano karami i-add. Pero itong 15, dadagdagan pa natin ng more pure juice. Okay? So, ano ba yung target natin? Ang target natin is 50% concentration. 50%, if you express it in a fraction, it's 1/2, right? Ano ba yung 1/2 natin? Yung target, ibig sabihin, ito yung ratio ng pure juice sa total. 50% or 1/2, yung pure juice over total. Ano ba yung pure juice natin? Yung pure juice natin, sabi natin meron tayong initial na 15, di ba? Pero, gusto natin kasi mag-add para maging 1/2 yung ratio or 50%. So, meron tayong initial na 15, mag-add tayo ng X. Hindi natin alam. So, X lang yun, nilagay natin. So, 15 liters plus X, ito yung pure juice natin na magiging final. Ngayon, kung nag-add tayo ng X, na pure juice, ano ngayon yung magiging total volume natin? Kasi tumaas din yung total volume, nag-add tayo ng X, di ba? Ano ba yung original na volume natin? Ano yung nandun? Meron kang meron kang 85 liters na tubig, meron kang 15 liters na juice, tapos nagdagdag ka pa ng X. Ito na yung bagong total. Ngayon, sabi natin, ang ratio nitong dalawa is equal to 1/2 or 50%, yung pure juice to total. We could also say that this is 100 plus X kasi yun yung original natin, di ba? 100 liters, nagdagdag ka lang ng juice, ng pure juice. Okay? So, meron na tayo ngayong equation na pwede nating isolve. So, meron tayong 1/2 is equal to 15 plus X over 100 plus X. So, the task now is to find X, solve for X. So, yun yung pinaka-importanting part is how to arrive dito sa equation natin na to. Kasi ito, madali na lang. Solve for X na lang, right? Pero yung conceptual understanding para makarating tayo sa equation na to, yun yung challenging sa word problem. So, kaya very important na ma-comprehend and ma-understand yung problem. Kung nahirapan kayo mag-understand sa problem, it's useful na i-drawing nyo yung problem like we did. So, in this case, gawin na natin yung solve for X, which is madali na lang. So, itong expression na to, lagay lang natin sa upper left side dito. Gawin natin, i-cross multiply lang natin. 2 times 15 plus X and 1 times 100 plus X, right? So, lagay lang natin to sa left side, 2 times 15 plus X. Yung nasa right side is 100 plus X. Then, distribute natin yung 2 times 15 and 2 times X. So, magiging 2 times 15 is 30, 2 times X is 2X. Then, yung right side natin is still 100 plus X. So, lipat lang natin dito, itong equation. Ngayon, gusto natin ma-isolate si X on one side. So, ilipat natin yung negative, yung X from right side to left side. So, magkapalit siya ng sign. 2X minus X. Transpose natin. Then, yung 30, i-transpose din natin to the right side. So, magkapalit ng sign from positive to negative. So, 2X minus X is equal to 100 minus 30. So, tinranspose lang natin yung 30 and yung X. So, yung 2X minus X is just equal to X. And then yung right side natin, 100 minus 30 is equal to 70. Okay? So, meaning, yung X natin is equal to 70. Right? Kasi may i-minus pa natin yung X. So, X is equal to 70 liters. Right? So, yun yung ito yung kailangan natin i-add kasi unit natin is in liters. Okay? Question. Check natin. Well, check natin kung tama ba to, ha? Right? So, check natin, ha? So, meron tayong kailangan yung kapag pag nilagay natin dito, sabi natin, ito yung juice na inad, right? Pure juice. So, 15, initially, nagdagdag ka ng 70. Tapos yung total mo, kung 100 yung mixture, nadagdagan ka ng 70, dapat ang ratio niyan, 1/2 ba? Tama ba na 1/2 yung makukuha natin? So, lagay natin ngayon, 15 plus 70 over 100 plus 70. Substitute natin yung X. Ito magiging 85. Ito magiging 170. 85 over 170, 1/2 ba yan pag ni-lowest term? Yes, kasi 85 times 2 is 170. 80 times 2 is 160. 5 times 2 is 10. So, 160 plus 10 is 170. So, this is also equal to 1/2. So, tama yung 70 natin. So, meron na tayong 85 liters na pure juice and 170 liters na total na water and pure juice. Right? So, ang ratio natin is 85 over 170. Visualize natin ano yung nangyari. So, meron tayo dito kaninang 100 liters to begin with and 15% pure juice yun. So, 15 liters na pure juice. Tapos, nagdagdag tayo ng, ano yung dinagdag natin? Ng pure juice na 70 liters na pure juice added. Ngayon, kung nag-add tayo ng pure juice na 70 liters, ano na yung total pure juice natin? Meron na tayong 70 liters plus 15, meron na tayong 85 liters of pure juice. At the same time, lumaki rin yung total natin. Kanina 100 lang, nag-add tayo ng 70. So 100 plus 70, 170 liters yung total. Kapag dinivide nyo, 85 liters na pure juice over 170 liters na total, that is equivalent to 50% or 1:2 ratio. Okay? Questions?